Hey everyone, and welcome to this video where I'm going to cover everything about OneNote and how it integrates within Brightspace. The first thing you want to do is log into Brightspace and then find a course you want to use. So I'm going to search for my Gomes Sandbox course, and I'm going to use course number 2 here. Okay, and there's actually three different things I'm going to suggest you could do with OneNote class notebook. The first thing is going to be just link it directly in your content so you can work directly inside of Brightspace on there. Then you could create a new link that would be in your navbar that links out to OneNote notebook, and then also inside of your announcements or kind of its own widget if you'd like. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll go to content, and that's where we're going to start. So what I'll do is I'm just going to create a new unit, and we'll call it OneNote class notebook. I'll save that. And notice this is hidden from students, but it's easily made visible by just clicking on the hidden and visible. And now what I'm going to do is while I have this unit selected, I'm going to go up here and go add existing. Okay, and the OneNote class notebook is going to be added as an external tool or activity. So when we select external tool activity, we're going to scroll down and find OneNote class notebook. Okay, notice it comes up as hidden. Again, we can make that visible right away. And then you can see here, we basically have the 7-step process of how to create your OneNote class notebook inside here. You notice I am logged in as inside my Office 365. So it's essentially taking OneNote class notebook and bringing it right into this little window. Okay, so what's the name of my class notebook? I'm going to call it Sandbox Course 2 and select Next. Okay, these are the areas and groups in my class notebook. Okay, great. Next. I can give other teachers permission to use this class notebook if I'd like, so I can type in their email address if I want. I'm going to give access to Craig Guthrie here. Hopefully he will find. There we go. Select Next. This is a nice piece inside here as well. If you have students that are created inside your classroom already because of the student information system creating these courses and class lists, then all your students should be able to automatically be added in directly from the learning management system, which is Brightspace. So if you don't have them in there, that's okay. You can still type in your students' names and they will then access it from that way. But I would strongly suggest making sure that your students are inside the class list appropriately, then keep on this automatically add students and then select next. It'll make it quick and easy to add your students in and give them access. Next, you can give, obviously, the same types of things. So students' private space, if I don't want quizzes inside here, I can remove that. If I want to add a new section in, I'll just keep my new section inside here and select next. And then we've got a preview of it. So here's what the preview looks like for the teacher. Here's what the preview looks like for the student. Again, you can see that new section in there. You can see it's Sandbox Course 2. If I'm happy with that, select Create, and then it's going to set that up. It says it takes a few minutes. It usually does not. There we go. And yeah, so our Sandbox course is created. So now the next time I click on this OneNote class notebook, I can click there and it should, let me actually go out. I'll go back to course home and then I'll go back into content. There we go. And now when I come here and I click on the OneNote class notebook link, it opens up into my OneNote class notebook. It might take a few seconds to load up as this is all just my computer internet. Come on, don't fail me now. And let's try that one more time. Refresh that. There we go. And so you can see here, right? I've got in all of my, I'm in Sandbox course number 2. So there's your OneNote class notebooks. Okay. Now, a couple other ways you can do this. Again, I told you there were a few different things I wanted to show. So that's the first one. The other thing is you could actually add a link directly to your class notebook right in your navbar. And the way that you would do that is go up to the navbar and go to the actions, select customize this navbar. And yes, I'll work with a copy of that navbar. And then what you would do is here where it says add links, you can go add a link, and we're going to create a custom link. And I'm going to say this is called OneNote. Okay. And inside the URL, what I'm actually going to do is go insert quick link. Do the exact same thing. So I'm going to find external learning tools, and that should bring up that list again, OneNote class notebook. And then I can just press create here if I'd like, or I can insert an icon. So I'm going to upload an icon here because I had previously stolen that OneNote icon, and I'll create that. And you can see, boom, it's right there. And I'm going to go add. And now that OneNote link is right inside my Navbar. So when I save and close that, click on that OneNote link, it should bring me into that online OneNote classroom. Okay, so great. So that's the second way of doing it. The third way is almost the same. So you could create a post in your activity feed or your announcements and link to that same activity. So in announcements, if you create an announcement, you would do the same type of thing, call it OneNote, and then you would select this, which is insert a quick link. When you insert a quick link, you can select, again, that external learning tools. Same thing, OneNote class notebook, publish that. And then that would now be a link to that OneNote class notebook on your announcements, which if you click on that, it'll again bring you to that external page that has your OneNote class notebook. Okay. The last thing, and I think I actually have to go back into D2L because it used the same browser tab, which is kind of annoying, but let's go back into that class. And I'll show you the same thing that you can do, but it's directly from activity feed as opposed to announcements. So here you can go in and create a post, and we'll call it a message post, and say, here's the link to Office OneNote class notebook. We're going to attach, and then we're going to do an existing activity. And the existing activity, again, brings this part up. We're going to go external learning tools, and then, again, OneNote class notebook. Okay, I'll spell this correctly. And then see it post it right inside there for us. Okay, now you can play around with the size of this if you wanted this to be a whole page or if you wanted it to be where it is here. It's still going to give us the link for that, and we can just expand it, but it shows kind of right in screen there. So you can access the class notebook from there, go back home. And what you could even do with this one if you wanted is to pin that message to the top. So anytime, if you're using the activity feed instead of announcements, you can create posts, and those posts would go below this post. You also have the ability to allow students to comment on these or not. If I don't want them to comment, I'm just going to go to edit that message and allow comments off, and then save those changes. Okay, so those are that's basically 4 different ways you can use OneNote. You can use it directly inside of the content tool, and they can access it in browser. You can create the link that would link out to their OneNote classroom notebook there, or you can link it inside of announcements or inside of activity feed. Okay, if you do have any other questions about how to set it up, please let me know. david.gomes@publicboard.ca. And if you have any further questions specifically about using OneNote class notebook, Craig Guthrie would probably be your go-to person, craig.guthrie@publicboard.ca. Thanks for tuning in.